Warriors have just traded for Jimmy Butler despite his 3 suspensions with the Heat and all the drama. Even his former Miami teammates had enough of him. But pairing Butler with Draymond Green is about to make the Golden State Warriors the most toxic team in the NBA. And I don't think even Steph or Steve Kerr can help prevent that. Let me tell you why.
You gonna talk to me like I'm stupid. What's up? What's up?
Yo, come on.
What's up? Nah, fuck
Jimmy,
that, bitch.
this not what you want, Jimmy. Jimmy, this not what you want. Made me get up, huh?
I'm not gonna go into all the drama that Jimmy Butler just had, as it's been in the headlines. But listen to what Draymond said about Butler's situation just before he was traded.
I'm a fan of basketball, so a lot of these things I look at through a fan lens. Not, I play for the Golden State Warriors. And this one in particular,
Right.
When I saw this, I just was like, man, Jimmy got to be really careful because you continue to lessen the amount of teams that will be willing to take you on. At some point, Pat may just say, I'm sending you to Toronto.
Bingo.
You know, or it's like something like that. So when I saw that, I was like, man, Jimmy got to be really careful because, like, you could end up
You could be back
with
at
no
the
market.
Bulls, bro.
Firstly, we know Jimmy didn't even want to join the Warriors. Secondly, in the most recent press conference, Steph was basically saying Jimmy's playstyle is completely different to the Warriors system and it will be a task to adapt to him. Thirdly, Draymond has arguably caused even more drama throughout his career and now they've been teamed up. So how long do you think it will take till they start butting heads? Knowing Draymond's history, I see drama and inner conflicts written all over this. Let me give you the full picture so you see why I say that. First of all, the Jordan Poole incident in 2022. You really don't expect such things to happen right after an incredible feat of winning the NBA championship, but it did. During the preseason training camp, Poole reportedly told Green, "You're an expensive backpack for 30, meaning Curry's been carrying Draymond his whole career basically. And Draymond responded with a punch in the face. I'm not gonna say that Poole didn't play a part in this, but the reaction was definitely worse than what triggered it. Punching your teammate in the face during a practice isn't just a minor scuffle that you can shrug off. It pretty much set the tone for the entire Warriors season. At first, it seemed like maybe Draymond's official apology and time off the team would be enough. After all, Jordan Poole was extended to a 4-year, $140 million contract despite the incident happening 10 days prior. But cracks in the team chemistry, or lack thereof, were glaring. They managed to somehow make the playoffs, then squeezed through the first round against Sacramento, where again we saw another Draymond incident, which I'll talk about later, and finally they fell against the lower-seeded Lakers. Even Steve Kerr, who's generally very protective of his players, had to admit Draymond's actions cost them a lot.
There's no hiding from it. The incident with Draymond and Jordan at the beginning of the year played a role in that. It's hard for that not to impact a team.
Whether you like him or not, Jordan Poole, a talented guard who was crucial in their championship run, a guy who just had signed an extension, was shipped to Washington. The next season, Warriors looked completely off, missing the playoffs. But hey, Draymond's still there and now he's telling everyone to just move on. Also, think about what kind of a message it sent to other players in the team. The guy who was absolutely in the wrong and has a history of inflammatory behavior stays in the team, while someone younger who got punched is sent away to fix the chemistry issue. And then Draymond goes on his podcast to say Poole is just looking for sympathy. I don't know, man. To me, it's just weird how unaware or purposefully ignorant Draymond is to the situations that he created. This is a pattern with Draymond. He has this way of sweeping the mess under the rug and pretending like everyone else should just ignore it. This lack of accountability is something Green has consistently displayed. It's always deflecting, downplaying, and somehow even justifying shit behavior. Whether it's the multiple groin shots he's got in his low-light reel,
Green putting a move on Adams, and he is fouled. And down goes Adams once again.
or any other unnecessary physical plays, he always has an explanation that's impossible to believe. Like take for example the stomping of Domantas Sabonis that I mentioned before. Here's the video in real time.
Puts it up, and Curry's got the board. Green gets tied up.
And here's Draymond's explanation of what happened in that moment.
I gotta land my foot somewhere. And I'm not the most flexible person, so it's not stretching that far.
I'm not flexible enough, he says. You're flexible enough for those groin kicks, aren't you? This guy stomps an opponent on the chest where he could have easily broken some ribs and then sits in the press conference as if he did no wrong. Honestly, I couldn't think of a more childish excuse than what he presented as the reasoning. Quickly before I continue, guys, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel as it helps us a lot. Now let's look at this ongoing feud with Jusuf Nurkic. These guys have been trading shots both physically and verbally ever since December 2023. That's when Draymond hit Nurkic in the face, got a flagrant 2, and got suspended indefinitely.
Pass.
Fields just picked up his third foul. And now Green runs over Nurkic, and he'll be called for the foul, and they're going to take a look at this.
I don't know about you guys, but to me it seems like another Draymond classic. A frustrated reaction to something that annoyed him a little bit too much. In Green's eyes, it wasn't, of course. It was an attempt to sell a foul.
My intentions were to sell the call. I also don't think I'm accurate enough puncher to do a full 360 and connect with someone.
This time his excuse is that he's not accurate enough, apparently. At least he admitted that factually he did hit Nurkic in the face. Okay, he didn't say that. It was worded something like, yes, I made contact with him and it was a hard contact. You see what I'm saying? Another of the many instances of him not admitting that he's in the wrong. After the game, Nurkic suggested Draymond get some help, and quite a few players echoed the same message.
What's going on with him, I don't know. Personally, I feel like that brother needed help. I'm glad he not tried to choke me.
Then the two of them started going back and forth on the court, on social media, and so on. Fast forward to 2025, and the guy who's telling everyone to let go of things isn't letting go himself. What happened was Jusuf Nurkic got into a scuffle in a game versus the Mavericks. He approached some of the Mavs players and this happened.
We're probably gonna take a look at it as well.
Boy, now we've got Nurkic and Najee Marshall.
This time it was Nurkic who made the first move, and you can definitely blame him for starting it, but the first real punch thrown was not by him, but rather at him. Anyways, Draymond of course decided to take the opportunity and troll Nurkic, saying this on his podcast.
And he just out of nowhere, like, picked an argument and then swung.
Yeah.
And I hope that brother got the help he needed. Man, it was just like out of nowhere, like something's wrong in life.
Yeah.
Like he must be going through a really hard time in life to just go back and swing like that. Or like
okay, I gotta give it to him. It's definitely funny that he used Nurkic's line. But at the same time, when it comes from Draymond, you just know he's being petty. And if anything, he has not felt any guilt for that punch. I still think one of the biggest lines he crossed was back in 2018 with Kevin Durant. When that argument spilled out on the court during a Clippers game, you just knew there was something deeper brewing. Later, reports said Draymond basically told KD that the Warriors didn't need him, implying Durant wasn't as important as he thought. And that was apparently just the tip of the iceberg. We know KD's sensitive when it comes to respect and narrative, so if Draymond really went at him like that, it's easy to see how that relationship imploded. The Warriors eventually suspended Draymond, and everyone started talking about how it might have cost them a chance at keeping Durant long term. Draymond, of course, said that it was the front office that mishandled the situation, not him. It's like a movie you've already seen. Draymond does something inflammatory, refuses to admit he's the problem, and shifts the blame onto someone else. And this dismissal of the seriousness of these accidents, combined with his defensive attitude when confronted, leaves you thinking either he genuinely doesn't grasp the harm he's done to his team, or his ego is just that huge. And now he is teammates with arguably the most confrontational player in the NBA. Given that Butler wasn't intimidated by Pat Riley, one of the league's most powerful executives, it's hard to imagine him backing down from Draymond Green. We all know Draymond and Butler will stir things up eventually, so I guess let's get ready for some serious drama. But perhaps you see it differently and think it might actually work out. Let me know in the comments below. Also, like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.